What's the biggest red flag when meeting new people? One of my bosses once told me that whenever you start a new job position, usually the first person who tries really hard to be your friend is the problem child of the office. They'll usually start telling you of people to avoid as well. I've found this very useful. When you mention something you enjoy and they immediately put it down, enjoy going on photography walks around cities, that sounds really tuck well, kindly get lost Mrs. Stranger. They don't listen to what you say and respond accordingly. They only wait for you to stop talking so they can talk about whatever they want to talk about. There's also the issue of people who won't stop talking in order for you to respond in any way. They have their own personal soliloquy. I have a friend who's so bad about this that I've just started silently timing them once they start talking to see how long they'll go without pausing to ask me something or allow for my input. Current record is 14 goddamn minutes. Usually when people speak of having a lot of people in their life that somehow turned on them and now they don't speak anymore. I remember one old coworker would become super fast friends with someone. Then within weeks, we don't really talk anymore, once. I'll accept. Hell, even twice. But when it's 4 to 5 times over. Guess what? It's not everyone else. Sounds kinda similar to me. Make friends easily but I really can't keep them around. They don't turn on me and I don't burn bridges. I just let the bridge decay over time. I've seen a lot of answers along the lines of when they say negative things about others, which I agree with by the way, but for me a huge red flag is when someone can't let someone else receive praise or be the center of attention. I've met people in the past who have shown small signs of jealousy when I've praised mutual friends, siblings, strangers, etc. And in each case it was indicative of bigger jealousy and self-esteem issues that led to some messed up stuff. Belittling they're so in front of people but insisting it's a joke every time. Sadly in this situation I used to be the belittled, so I briefly had a friend like this. We all went out for drinks one night. And she relentlessly castrated her fiancé while he just sat there like a kicked dog. Meanwhile, she outed my gay buddy to people we didn't even know that well. She thought the whole scene was just hysterical. Toxic be right there. When you barely know them and they act like your best friend. Then later ask to borrow money. Subtle signs that they aren't remotely interested in you. And the only way you two are together is maybe because an obligation, favor. People change their tune often when they have to conceal their feelings of disdain for someone. They don't really listen to you or pay attention to what you're talking about. But expect you to be totally engaged with whatever they say and act put out if you aren't. When they only talk about themselves. I hate that. They should be talking about me. So tell me about myself. When they're judgmental and critical of others. But never of themselves. You know my father? Everyone here talking about slightly negative people. But Op asked for the biggest red flag. So I'm gonna go with having a swastika scar on their forehead. When they start talking about the tons of money I am going to be making with their new business venture in selling knives door to door. Asking me to PM them my ankle. Massive red flag. Sad face. If they can't take no for an answer. Yeah. I met someone, strictly platonic, recently who immediately got defensive when I said I couldn't take time away from my business at that time to do something social with them. They threatened to show up at my house and asked, "What would you do then?" There had been a bunch of red flags with this person leading up to this point. But that was where I was like, goodbye. Psycho. That's not how any healthy friendship, acquaintanceship works. Thank goodness I have enough good people in my life to recognize that. Hi. My name is _______, and I'm in a shoal. Literally how the shop manager introduced himself to everyone. Like it's an excuse. When they monopolize a conversation. When they steer the conversation so that you end up being shown a phone full of photos. When they engage in a whole monologue about their health or relationship issues. When they brag a lot if not about themselves then their family members. People think I'm a bi-ch. But I'm really just blunt and tell the truth. They can't handle that. Nah. Chances are you're just a btch. That and the can't handle me at my worst, don't deserve me at my best types. Let's be honest. We often see these red flags but deliberately push on to form a relationship. If the relationship goes bust, We critique ourselves for not heeding the warning signs. This is an unjust self-criticism. I know a woman who is dating a guy who dated one of my friends. This guy is former, likely current, drug addict, alcoholic, adulterous, has cheated on every woman he's been with. Including this new girl, pathological liar, I mean that in the clinical sense. Not hyperbole, narcissist, again. Clinical bankrupt, over $100,000, unemployed. Or if he is employed is working under the table, has been engaged 3 times. Married twice and has financially ruined every woman prior, yet when we tried to warn her. Even showed her a paper trail and evidence he's been unfaithful to her, she told us to FCK off and stop bad-mouthing a good man. Honestly. We just don't want to see another person hurt. She's now trying to help him get custody of his 4 kids. That chick is going to reap a lifetime of problems and there's nothing anyone can do to change her mind. But you don't know him like I do. He can change. I can change him. I have only ever met 2 men that I'm aware of who lied to me about their ages when we met. Both of these men turned out to be extremely unpleasant and abusive people. I dated one of them and knew the GF of the other one. I think people who lie easily even over trivial things tend to have very complex psychological problems and are best steered clear of. OMG. This last boyfriend did this by 5 years to make himself look older. He lied about lots of things for months to get me to fall for him. Scariest part was how much he lied to himself to dodge his own issues. He honestly didn't see how much he was the cause of his own problems. I had to nope out of that one really fast. He ended up stalking me for months. Actually, he's still doing it. It's been a nightmare. He even moved into my neighborhood. When they try to one-up you in everything you say. How they treat waiters, waitress, cashiers, janitors, bus drivers and everyone in the service industry. A coworker friend of mine left a bunch of trash at the cinema after we finished watching a movie. I angrily pick up his trash. Chased him and told him to throw it away at the bin 3 meters outside of the cinema. And he replied, "Dude, why are you so Japanese? I did graduated from Japan, I'm just letting the janitors doing their job." No dude. It's not being Japanese. It's being having manners. Couldn't look at him the same way again ever since. More than 2 tattooed teardrops. I worked at a Hobby Lobby and some really big, buff guy came in and came up to the register with 5 teardrop tattoos and purchased a pile of felt squares and a pack of sparkly stickers. Too much information too quickly. People who divulge too much about themselves from the offset generally have poor boundary issues. I speak from experience. I am a recovering poor boundary haver. When the first thing they tell you about themselves is all the hardship and unfairness in their lives. I was born with glass bones and paper skin. Every morning I break my legs. And every afternoon I break my arms. At night, I lie awake in agony until my heart attacks put me to sleep. People that are not considerate with your time. Being 5 minutes late every so often isn't a big deal. But when people are consistently 20 minutes late and make people wait. Say for a dinner. When they're instantly rude to e.g. waiters or strangers in general. If you want, let you get 2 words in before interrupting anything you say. Let me stop you right there. If they nitpick your appearance or do a give and take. I just talked to a girl from a dating app who did that. And after I called her out for being very rude, she doubled down. It's a red flag for emotional abuse emo. You immediately start hearing from them about all the time other people have hurt them, betrayed them, or otherwise been assholes to them. If everyone you encounter is an asshole, chances are, you're the asshole. I met a girl through mutual friends that seemed cute. We flirted a bit and then became Facebook friends. 98% of her feed is passive-aggressive jabs at ex-boyfriends. Or about guys friend zoning her after having the nerve to accept back rubs yet not rewarding her kindness with a relationship. Oh, so if we date and it doesn't work out, you're going to put me on blast to all our mutual friends? That's a hard pass for me. They only have negative things to say about others. You know what they say about if everyone you meet is an asshole. All they talk about is themselves and don't ask a single thing about you. I get the feeling that they just want to only talk about themselves. Don't care who it's to and don't really care about the person they're speaking to. I'm an alpha type, aka I'm a self-centered a-hole who does know how or won't learn to behave in public. If they are unaware of people around them in a social sense. Like, they don't thank service staff or stand in the middle of crowded walkways and not move out of the way of others. Congratulations, you have made friends with a toddler. This is not the biggest of red flags. Just ones that have recently pissed me off. When they have no problem dishing about others. Especially friends. In a hateful way. Not only do I not want to hear what you have to say, but now I don't trust you. When they bring up topics out of nowhere just so they can spout their opinions and not actually have a conversation. It's very telling about their personality. When they shake your hand way too f***ing hard. Like WTF you psycho. I still remember you Ben you whack job. It's funny. Handshakes are a trust ritual, see. I allow you to control my weapon hand, you can trust me. These mo-ons think they're asserting dominance. But they're just failing a trust test. If you have to invite them before they'll enter your house. If they avoid direct sunlight. And the biggest of all. No reflection in a mirror. They try to become close friends with you immediately when you've hardly known each other at all. They expect you to like them right away and don't seem to give you time to get to know them. Grabs Bob.